Proud club at Manly. What impact the record loss had would be known when they hosted Newcastle at Brookvale Oval. The Knights have a spot in the top 8 to play for, but are the dominant force they used to be. The rivalry between these two clubs dates back to that dramatic grand final in 1997, with the Novocastrians winning all 5 clashes since. Anything but a 100% effort from the Seagulls will have their fans, club sponsors, officials and new owner questioning the players' dedication.
Let's have a look at how the two sides will take the field. The home side has 2 late admissions with injury. Chris Hicks and Sam Harris are out. A huge reshuffle sees Stephen Menzies go into the centre three-quarter line. The new forward pack is Lulawai, Randall, King, Watmo, Williamson and Hamono. The 2 new faces on the bench in 18 is Paul Stevenson and 19 is Glenn Stewart, in a side coached by Des Hasler. For the Newcastle Knights, just the one change. Josh Perry is out with a hip injury. His place in the front row is taken by Matthew Kennedy. And returning to football for the first time since the city-country clash earlier in the year, Daniel Abraham on the bench in jersey number 18. Their coach is Michael Hagan. And your referee this afternoon in his 237th first-grade game is Stephen Clark. Our video referee is Sean Hampstead. For the home side, the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles, it is very much about redemption and about pride after the club's darkest week in a very proud 55-year history. Newcastle won the toss. Manly are kicking off.
Stay on side, Manly.
And defending the northern end of Brookvale Oval. Round 23, the Sea Eagles in 14th position on the NRL ladder. The Knights on 9th. And it is the Knights that have the first opportunity, ball in hand.
Hold, Manly, hold,
A light rain in the minutes prior to kick-off as Adam Woolnough takes it up towards the 20-metre line.
Hold, fellas, hold.
Massive reshuffle from Des Hasler. In the starting 13, this is Ben Kennedy, who next year will call Brookvale home. Matthew Kennedy promoted into the starting side. Stiff defence from the Eagles. They are getting up in numbers, limiting the metres made from the Knights' big men. Witt.
Lost his legs,
Again, 3 in there for a dominant tackle at the end of the set. It goes to Witt on the last. Downfield and with the assistance of a massive breeze. Could be the ideal kick. In fact, I think it is a 40-20. Newcastle will retain possession. What a way to start the game for the visiting Knights, Greg Alexander.
Yeah, great kick there from Steve Witt. Just outside his 30-metre area there. Newcastle with the assistance of a very strong breeze. Good defensive start by the Manly Sea Eagles, as you'd expect from a side that's coming off a 60-point loss. A lot of soul-searching done during the week down here on the northern beaches. Good start, but not much they could do about that.
Locked in there. Out!
Witt to Gidley. This is brother Matthew, causing problems and looking for points. Craig Hall is claiming them. We will go upstairs.
Tackle 1. We're going for the corner post, please. Grounding.
We see the try here. Hall going for the corner. Donald, desperate defence. Craig Hall's put his right foot over the touchline. That won't be a 4-pointer to the Knights.
So they backed themselves after gaining the repeat set from the 40-20, but a handover of possession on just the first tackle. A big relief for Des Hasler and a big relief for his Sea Eagles. After coming off such a massive loss, they could ill afford to concede first points inside the opening 90 seconds.
Hang on, Michael. Oh, mate.
Michael Hagan watching on from above.
Give us a tunnel, boys. Out!
Menzies. An indifferent season today in the centres in the absence of Chris Hicks. This is Albert Torrens up over the 20. Solomon Hamono named on the team sheet, Greg, by Des Hasler as lock forward. Biggest lock forward in the game. You'd suggest he'd be playing more the second row game.
Yeah, I think Des Hasler will switch Anthony Watmo back to the lock position. Hamono will pack in the second row with Luke Williamson, as we see close to a mistake there by Robbie O, but well fielded by Craig Hall.
Yeah, the Knights back there in numbers with Hall and O'Davis. Gidley smashed over the top by Jason King. The 11 is Clint Newton. Some second phase footy, keeping the ball alive. Carmont looking for his inside man, Anthony Quinn, very close to the sideline, and a good show of strength from the wing three-quarter to evade going into touch. This is Kennedy over the 40-metre line, tackle number 4. They have had all the footy. Vidaris, Carmont, again back to Quinn. He finds Witt to Gidley. Straightens the attack and is taken down on the final play. Last tackle for the Knights. And Witt goes to the air. A huge breeze behind the visitors for the opening 40. Donald takes it in the field of play. And it will be a Manly Warringah dropout. A lot of numbers there from the Newcastle side. And the wing three-quarter trapped.
Yeah, well-judged kick there by Michael Witt. Scott Donald did well. He was in the field of play. Jumped into the in-goal area to take the ball, couldn't get back out. So a good start by the Knights. Look, and a worrying sign for the Eagles is the fact that they're not putting the ball runner on the ground. They're being allowed to offload the football, putting pressure on the Manly defence.
And that was one of many problems against the Penrith Panthers last week in that 60-point loss. It wasn't even so much missed tackles. Incomplete tackles were equally as bad.
Well, the defence would have been the concentration of the coaching staff during the week. They would have spoken about commitment in defence, and that's something that wasn't there against the Panthers last week.
Nice flick out the back to O'Davis. Good on his feet. Michael Ennis showing his versatility already in this contest. Gidley cuts out Kennedy. In fact, cut out Ben and found Matthew. He's back slammed just 5 metres from the try line. 0-0 as we approach the 5-minute mark. Gidley tosses it out the back, and it is play on. An intercept from the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. And again, their desperation, their reward.
Yeah, clever play by the skipper there, Monaghan. The ball was almost found a Newcastle Knights support player, but he was able to knock it up and tap it back to the Manly players as they work it out through Jason King now, just over the 30-metre line.
A disappointing start to the season, Jason King, with a foot injury. It's been a welcome addition back into this unit. Walker, the recipient of a long ball to Williamson. Well read by the winger Quinn. Couldn't complete the tackle. This is Albert Torrens, 6 metres short of halfway. Walker. Last tackle. There you can see an illustration of how strong the breeze is. That kick came off the right boot of Andrew Walker and almost turned sharp left from the start. O'Davis putting some footwork on.
Here it is, Michael. Hold, boys, hold, go.
Kennedy, Matthew. Down low was Luluai. Over the top was King. Quite a combination defensively. Newton, Gidley, Kennedy running the hole, looking for support, finds it in back play. It is play on, it is 6 again. No need for panic for the Knights. Carmont finds Quinn on the inside. They're not afraid to play a lateral game, the visiting Knights. Tackle 0. Good hand shown by Adam Woolnough. Really had to reach to gather that football in. Vidaris. Back to Quinn, an opening. He loses his footing. Hamono was there. Tackle 2. Gidley. Steve Witt at second receiver. Inside man is O'Davis. Clint Newton playing the ball player wide. That was well read by Luluai. Short side they go. Numbers, Matthew Gidley. And Menzies superb in defence. A good contest, a contest that has been played right down in Eagles territory, and they eventually, I was going to say pay the price, but a knock on from Michael Ennis. He had the points there.
Yeah, Matt Gidley put the kick through. Michael Ennis was there. He just had to fall on the ball. Gidley gets it through the defensive line of the Sea Eagles. Michael Ennis led the chase, just couldn't get his hands on it and get downward pressure on the football.
Nick Bradley. Randall loves playing the short side. He does so this time with Williamson. He makes the best part of 7 metres towards the halfway mark. Monaghan inside to King.
Tackle 4.
I know only early, but certainly playing with a lot more fluency and a lot more direction than what they illustrated against the Panthers. Monahan tries to chip over the top. The wind catches it and takes it safely into the hands of Robbie O.
Move left. Solomon, hold the 10. Go.
Gidley, Kennedy, numbers this side. Carmont does well to keep it in, flicks it back and out. George Carmont not showing a lot of respect for the football. The outside men for the Knights.
They aren't afraid to throw it wide early, the Newcastle Knights. George Carmont there really didn't need to throw the pass. He had trouble hanging onto it. There was no need to throw the ball out there, and Manly get the mistake that they were looking for. All the field position and possession's gone with the Knights so far in this early part of the game.
Something up. Chain please. Out. Backwards.
Amono at 5'8". Poor pass somehow ended up in the hands of Walker. This is Brett Stewart.
Tackle 1.
Brother Glenn named on the bench this afternoon, a late call-up along with Paul Stevenson. Captain Menzies. They've completed their 3 sets so far in the contest, the Eagles. All at the other end of the park.
Knock on. Thank you. Keep us food loose.
Just as we say, they've completed all their sets. That's not the case. Some old habits die hard, as you just pointed out. Stephen Menzies in the centre and leading the side, not captaining the side. That honour goes to Michael Monahan.
Can you go Manly, bind properly, Anthony? That's it. Out!
Deep in their territory, Andrew Walker got a big fend that time from Craig Hall. Slow to take his place back in the line. Kennedy.
2. Move out, mark straight. Hold, go.
Short side and perhaps forward, flat at very best to Matthew Kennedy. And the Brookvale crowd has certainly let Stephen Clark know that.
Look, they had success with the 40-20 early in the match, and Brett Stewart's up very flat. I know they're making easy meters, the Newcastle Knights, but they shouldn't be afraid to go to the 40-20 again. This breeze is strong, and they've got to utilise it.
To Witt, over the top. Scott Donald comes off his chest, goes backward. And it's an easy target for Matthew Gidley, Kurt Gidley, and also Craig Hall. Not an attacking kick by the Knights' inside men. They've certainly dominated possession and position most of the game. In fact, 56% of the game has been played down this end of the park as Randall goes to the left-hand side to Menzies. Pirouettes and beats one. The right arm is free. Unable to find Donald, but good metres nonetheless from Stephen Menzies. Out of acting half and crabbing across field. Nick Bradley moves into that position. Monahan, inside man is Luluai. A high off-season turnover for the Sea Eagles, and combination has been hard to find so far in this year's campaign. O'Davis almost back on his goal line to retrieve the football. A good chasing team led by the captain.
Yeah, that's a good kick by Michael Monahan into the breeze. While they won't get much distance in this first half with their kicks, Monahan's got to find the ground. He's got to make Robbie O'Davis work for it, as we see Quinn come up with a mistake, and it's again a mistake down this end of the field for the Newcastle Knights, and Manly get another opportunity.
That is the reason why their completion rate poor early on, the Knights. Look at the error count, 4-1 in favour of the Eagles. This time it's Watmo standing first receiver from the scrum base. They're certainly not afraid to experiment. Randall to the open side, they come through. Monahan. Stewart. Well read there by Kurt Gidley, who came up out of the line and was forced to, made the tackle. Bradley fires off a pass to Monahan. Spots a gap and shuts very quickly between Badderas and Kennedy. Randall. Grubbers ahead. Awkward bounce for the Knights. And a repeat set for the Sea Eagles. They are certainly not playing like a side walloped by 60. They are playing with confidence. They are playing with pride. And personal pride can be a huge self-motivator.
Well, we've seen it many times this year where sides have been beaten by big scores the previous week, and they do aim up. Manly have got enough class players in their outfit and enough pride in their own performances to put in a good effort today.
Randall to Williamson, short side. Ben Kennedy and Michael Ennis are there. A good quick play the ball, allowing the Manly Warringah side to remain on a roll. Andrew Walker spills the pill. Newton picks it up, finds his man in O'Davis.
Well, they created an opportunity there, the Sea Eagles, off that quick play the ball by Williamson. Nick Bradley going across the field. He was looking for someone to run into a hole. It's not very often you get a winger trying to set up the play, but Andrew Walker just hesitant there, stood back, and by the time he got the ball, he came up with a mistake.
Woolnough, short ball, Witt, flies it out the back to Gidley. In turn, asks George Carmont to go back 5 or 6 metres to retrieve the football. He passes off to Quinn. Heads centre field, not a lot of structure about what they're doing. Oh, look out. Solo's looking for a shot. Matthew Gidley. And they have made the best part of some 18 metres on that play, but there was certainly no direction with it. Woolnough, tackle number 4. Badderas dummies one way, goes the other to Kurt Gidley, who puts it over the top, looking for his outside man in Quinn. Nick Bradley got a very awkward bounce and did well to head back centre field. Torrens. Get a gauge of just how effective this Manly line is by how well they can trap the Eagles down in their own red zone. Menzies still wrestling in the tackle. Matthew Gidley and Stephen Witt, the 2 tacklers. Lulaway from the short run, flat pass. Gets a good roll on what the Eagles do need is that quick play the ball. Hamono into Kennedy, Woolnough and Ennis. Another slow play the ball from the Eagles. Means the pressure is on Andrew Walker. Can't get the kick he would have liked away. And the chasing team certainly doesn't get up. And in the face of fullback Robbie O'Davis, makes a good 20 metres before being taken down by Anthony Watmoe.
It's just something Manly are going to have to contend with in this first half into the strong breeze. Their kicks aren't going to travel as far as they want them to. They've got to make as many metres in their running yards as Craig Hall makes a good 10 metres and gets the Newcastle Knights inside the Manly's 40.
Badderas from dummy half.
Here's Michael. Kick him, Michael.
Hall to Witt. Inside man is Newton. Good angle running from the Knights. Tackle number 5. They are going the short side through Kurt Gidley. Grubbers through, looking for a man on the outside. And it is penalty Manly in front of the Cook kicker. And a lot of desperation shown by Brett Stewart at the back.
Yeah, the kick looked to be too big, but it came off one of the Manly feet as we see Gidley go down the short side there. 5th tackle, puts a little one through. Steve Menzies got a foot to it, which slowed it down. In the end, Craig Hall called for offside, and Manly get the penalty.
A couple of changes from Des Hasler as we approach the 17-minute mark. Paul Stevenson's on the field as Andrew Walker breaks away from the bunch. Looking good and on the outside for Nick Bradley. The Knights are there en masse. Bradley has just too much. That is all class from the Eagles. Nick Bradley was surrounded by 3 Newcastle Knights, put the footwork on, and then slammed the foot to the floor.
Great counter-attack by Manly. Beaver Menzies, the man. Great offload. Walker in the right place at the right time. Heads across field looking for support players there. Throws a great ball to Nick Bradley. He sees the cover defence coming across. A little goose step there and had enough speed to beat George Carmont into the corner.
Good ball from Andrew Walker, timed perfectly.
Well, any lesser pass and it would have been a no try. There was that much Newcastle defence coming across.
And there you can see the hint of rain on the horizon here. It is a dark day on the northern beaches. That is the view of Andrew Walker. Kicking into the breeze. Kicking well. Looks good. Is good. Exceptional strike from Andrew Walker. It is the Sea Eagles 6, the Knights 0.
It's a blow to lose Josh Perry, but Daniel Abraham's coming back into the side. Look, he hasn't played since that City Country match. So it's some 15 weeks now since he's played. He hasn't had much running. I was talking to the Newcastle coaching staff. He hasn't had much time on the training field either, so he will be a little bit underdone. They need to win here, but it's no good. Daniel Abraham's coming back into the side for the future matches. They've got the Dragons and the Bulldogs in coming weeks. They need to get the 2 points here if they are going to figure in the playoffs at the end of the season.
Yep, Dragons, Bulldogs, Tigers, the 3 games the Knights have to finish the season with 2 of those at home. Nice tip from Monaghan. Pressure on O'Davis, who excels. One-on-one with Walker. O'Davis continues up onto the halfway line.
Yep. Yeah, the Newcastle chase there put Michael Monaghan in 2 minds. He was going for the deep kick. The chase was up quick. He put in a little kick, which is on too, because Robbie O, with the Manly side running into this stiff breeze, he doesn't have to be too deep. But he was certainly deep on that occasion. Michael Monaghan finding the space, but Robbie O did well in the end to regather the ball.
And that time it has been picked up as forward to Newton.
Out!
Oh, Stevenson. Belted in 18. This is Williamson.
Tackle toe!
Kylie Lulawayan, Solomon Amona having a break for the Eagles. Randall crabbing across field. Brett Stewart has moved into acting half. His captain on his left. That's the way they go. The inside man, Watmo. Tackle number 4. Going into a strong breeze that may have just died off a little bit in the past 10 or 15 minutes. Brett Stewart is caught on the 5th. They go to Monaghan and he goes to the air. Pressure on the Newcastle outside men. And George Carmont did well to leap above the pack on time, come down and remain in the field of play. Now, it's all about territory for the Knights, running with the assistance of that breeze, and we saw them play smart football in the opening exchanges, getting that early kick away.
Flag pull.
Well, the penalty here will help out, but it's been the error count from the Newcastle Knights. It's creeping up. Only just over halfway through this first stanza, they've made 5 errors, even though they do share a bulk of the possession at the moment.
Tackle 1.
That error rate is counting against them.
Go.
Matt Parsons onto the field. Big Matty Parsons. We thought he may have moved into the starting side with the omission through injury of Josh Perry. That's not the case. Newton coming together with King and getting the ball out the back. It ends up in the hands of Kurt Gidley, who beats one, can't get away from Heckenberg. Called to play it by the referee. Ennis. Bound for the Dragons next year on tackle 4. Witt. Rubbers ahead. Hoping for the bounce. They don't get it. Scott Donald does. And again, execution, not quite what Michael Hagan would have liked at the end of the set.
Well, again, it found the feet of the Manly defensive line. Scott Donald did well to clean it up. It's not easy when you're a winger and the kick doesn't go where you think it's going. When it comes off feet, makes it very hard for the winger to put himself in a position to get the ball.
Heckenberg on the field, as you can see, for the Eagles. Williamson, who has been extremely busy on this right side. The opening 23 or 24 minutes, a poor pass. Last tackle, Monaghan under pressure, back to King, finds Walker. They need a kick. Walker supplies it.
Stay, Anthony, 10.
Robbie O'Davis has got great field position, finds Craig Hall on his inside. Bumps off Heckenberg, does the little winger. And a good opportunity to level the scores. It is 6-0 in favour of the home side. Paul Stevenson has moved on to the field, right centre. Albert Torrens back to the left centre, and Stephen Menzies returns to the lock forward position, defending just on the fringes. Witt. Witt. Tackle number 4, 9 metres out from Baderas to Gidley, and just needed some support. Had the arms free. Last tackle, Steve Witt. Grubber, and it has gone backwards off Anthony Watmo, who then promotes the ball a further 11 metres downfield.
Well, a golden opportunity escapes Newcastle there. Matthew Gidley running onto a Danny Baderas pass. All he needed was someone there in support. As we see a couple of quick play the balls by the Eagles, and a good run by Scott Donald, who's still going.
Menzies to Williamson. That's good football from Manly. Nick Bradley getting out quickly. Menzies. And defensively, the Knights are really waiting for the Eagles to come to the advantage line. Not moving up with any great leg speed. Heckenberg. That's better from Newcastle. Belted by Matt Parsons. Two big men colliding.
They're all on.
Monahan. Everyone on. Test for little Robbie O. And there isn't too many times over a decorated career that Robbie O has failed that test.
Wait.
Holding the jaw, O'Davis, alarming signs for the Knights. Considering he is playing with a fractured jaw at the moment.
He doesn't want to finish his career on the sidelines.
No.
Fractured the jaw a couple of weeks ago. It's just a hairline fracture. Obviously got a bit of treatment there as they come wide again. George Carmon.
Carmon puts the footwork on and initially broke the advantage line. It was just the numbers. He was outweighed defensively and got trapped. 16 is Andrew Price, almost leaping in to be met by the tackle of Lulawai, who's back on the field. Lights are on here at Brookvale, and the home side leads by 6. Menzies. And again, one of the issues Michael Hagan you would suggest would be addressing at half-time, Brandy, would be the kicking game. The options have been poor as Chad Randall heads back to the dressing room. Problem for the Eagles.
So they haven't got the results from their short kicking game. A number of times they've been inside the Manly 10-metre line trying to get a repeat set. The ball's found the feet of the Manly side. They've been able to cover it up.
With the traffic jam that is the race for the final 8, the Newcastle Knights can ill afford to be upset by the Eagles. And Robbie O'Davis shows a lot of patience in allowing the ball to go over the dead-end goal line. He's taking his place back in the Newcastle line, O'Davis, after grabbing at that jaw. 5 is Quinn. Parsons. Still going, Matt Parsons. Supplying good penetration for the Knights. Baderas, in the back of reasonably slow play the ball. Kennedy breaking through the line. Had Kirk Gidley with him on the wrong side. Witt. O'Davis. Newton. Over the top to Matt Gidley. One further to Craig Hall, who had an opportunity earlier in the game and was denied.
Lead in.
Pushing the referee's interpretation there, Lulawai, taking his man to the ground after the tackle had been called. Tackle number 5. Gidley. Grubbers again, and again it doesn't work. This time it is Shane Dunley. Some days are meant to be, some days aren't. And as far as the kicks are going at the moment for the Knights, they are being very well read by the Sea Eagles. Andrew Walker tackled 27 metres from his line as Glenn Stewart prepares to head into action for the first time today. That is Des Hasler's 5th interchange of the afternoon. And you do have to rotate your big men running into a breeze like this to try and keep them fresh for that second half. Watmo is the man replaced. Another high ball. O'Davis allowing it to bounce. Gets the good bounce. A few nervous moments for the Newcastle fullback. This is Matthew Gidley. The 5 is Quinn. His 10th hit up of the afternoon. There's Watmo. Well-earned rest. The skies again darken here at Brookie. The wind picks up. The rain is on the horizon. Kennedy. Be a little bit of sledging out there, I'd imagine, between Ben Kennedy and some of the Manly forwards. Vidaris, last tackle, flicks it out the back and flicks it straight to Kylie Luluai.
He ran out of options then, Danny Vidaris ran into a hole, had to let go of the ball as Menzies makes a good run from dummy half there. Pulled over by Andrew Price.
And it hasn't been a game punctuated by too many penalties from referee Stephen Clark, but this one most certainly deserved just hanging on far too long, using the beaver to help himself get to his own feet. And Stephen Clark said, I'll have none of that. Just 2-1 the penalties. It's been a pretty open game of football. Both outfits not afraid to show a little bit of confidence in their own ability and play a lateral game. Williamson. Belted by Ben Kennedy. Monahan. Walker brushes off his opposing number, who comes back for a second grab. Tackle number 4. The 18 is Stevenson. Monahan, last tackle, chipping towards the inside. The 2 fullbacks collide, and it is the Manly fullback that gets up, all smiles.
Well, Stephen Clark said we'll have a look at the offside. Michael Monahan chip back towards the inside of the ruck there. Brett Stewart and Robbie O go for the ball at the same time. Stewart's on the inside of Monahan. He looks onside. Off the inside of the foot there. Robbie O had control of the ball. And as he was falling down, Brett Stewart able to rip it out of his arms. That'll be a 4-pointer to the Eagles.
Awaiting the decision of Sean Hampstead. And it is a try. And a great try at that. The girls are cold here at Brookvale Oval. They're allowed to dance now and warm up. They have points, the home side. And this is how.
Yeah, clever little kick by Monahan, wasn't it? Brett Stewart knew it was on. Back towards the middle of the ruck there. Robbie O, well, you can't blame Robbie O.
Andrew Walker already 1 from 1 this afternoon. It is 12-0 in favour of the home side. Manly over Newcastle.
They haven't been able to utilise this, Bruce, because they're not getting their 5th tackles, and when they do get to their 5th tackles inside the Manly 20, they're not coming up with any results. Their short kicking game has been poor.
Manly have not beaten Newcastle since the final series of 97. Of course, they lost the grand final 2 weeks later, so it has been a very long drought for the Seagulls as Manly over the Knights. In fact, Newcastle have won the last 6 contests between these two sides. Luluai. Problem for Daniel Heckenberg in back play after that last ruck. As we go to Monahan. O'Davis showing plenty of desperation and commitment to the football. 2 is Craig Hall, and the penalty goes the way of the Knights.
That's it.
A good meter maker from the Newcastle side, who trail by 2 converted tries. Parsons, well taken around the legs by Glenn Stewart.
Did he cop some knees in the back there, Matty Parsons? He stayed on the ground.
Bit of a war zone at the moment. Matt Parsons is down. Further back down the field, Andrew Walker is receiving plenty of attention from a trainer. Chad Randall is already back in the dressing room. Oh, Kylie Lulawai completely accidentally has put the left knee right in between the 1 and the 4 on the back of Matt Parsons.
That was one.
Big Matty's still being tended to by Mark. 16 is Andrew Price. Good opportunity for the Knights, even if it is a 12-man Knights. They've come the left. Manly have certainly got numbers this side. Kennedy heads back to where there's an opportunity. O'Davis smashed in back play by Dunley, and there's a fight on. And away goes Scott Donald. They won't catch him. They can't catch him. It is 98 metres or thereabouts and 6 points. The Eagles are celebrating, but we are going to go all the way back down. And I've got a funny feeling Shane Dunley is going to cost his side points here. There's a scuffle between Dunley and O'Davis.
Well, Scott Donald's gone.
I don't know either.
95 metres. Ben Kennedy knew where the holes were. They were on the right-hand side there. Good tackle there by Lulawai and Stewart.
Okay, that was the initial contact. And Dunley has just grabbed him and started throwing. It had no bearing on the play.
Yep.
And Scott Donald deserves the try.
Yeah, look,
But
I don't think that try should be taken away from Manly.
our video ref is Sean Hampstead. He awards the try. And I would like to see what's going to happen to Shane Dunley here.
Shane Dunley.
Stephen
Shane
Clark
Dunley.
is calling him out right now.
Robbie.
Why is Robbie O'Davis being called out for being belted? No, well, we're about to find out.
Went to the video then just to see what happened up there with that altercation. That's where we've gone with the try. Determined you've come through, and then you've come back and had a shot at him, and then it was okay. Yeah, I know that, but we just want to check. I just want to let you know. Let's just keep it on. Let's just cool, eh, boys?
Someone needs to have another look at that.
Well, Robbio's gone through in support on the play before
And
where
being
Ben
shouldered.
Kennedy been shouldered by Dunley. Robbio came back, pushed. Dunley started throwing punches. Look at the numbers that the Knights had. Donald, the only Manly player out there, and the player you don't want to get the ball from 95 metres. He's one that can go all the way, and he did.
Recently re-signed for 2 seasons.
His 14th try of the year.
Andrew Walker kicks the goal. It is 18-0. Playing catch-up football in the wet, into a breeze. That's a difficult assignment.
Well, it doesn't get much tougher, does it?
And against a side that is admittedly playing good footy.
Oh, look, take nothing away from Manly. The Knights have made mistakes, but they've been forced on them by the Manly defence. And we knew that the Manly defence would come out with this sort of attitude. After a 60-0 beating the previous week to the Panthers, as you said before the start of play, plenty of pride's dented in that loss, and they've come out named up today.
Kick from Monahan. O'Davis gets the ball. And Menzies and Stevenson up very quickly, leading the chasing team. The crowd has evacuated the hill and the terraces. They are hiding under the grandstands at the moment.
And it becomes a pretty simple game plan for Manly as the Knights get a penalty. What Manly don't want to do with under...
And they put him on the ground. No, he wasn't, mate.
Shane Dunley, who was involved in that earlier incident, involved in this with Heckenberg and Monahan.
Thank you, boys.
Manly don't want to give a late try away now.
But they've done too much good work and lead by 3 converted tries.
And with the breeze and the rain in the second half, the game plan becomes very simple. Hold the ball, kick it, make Newcastle run 70 and 80 metres for tries. And with the ball wet and slippery, it's a big risk.
Rain has eased again. I think that's going to be the case for the majority of the afternoon. Tackled is Newton. Gidley. The little brother Kurt puts a step on, finds O'Davis. He in turn finds Abraham. Carmont. George Carmont knows his way to the line and finds it here at Brookvale. The perfect hit back from the Knights. You don't think they're pumped up? A glimmer of hope.
Well, they should have scored previous to the Scott Donald try. Here they go wide, and they've had plenty of success down this right-hand side of the Manly defence. George Carmont should have been tackled there. Stevenson, Bradley.
And adding the extras from wide out, slippery ball, slippery surface. Nearing a personal milestone, has amassed already in a short career 190 career points. And he won't add to that on this occasion. It is 18-4 in favour of the home side. This is Woolnow. Big number 10 has been good. This is 20th game of the season. Just missed one through injury. 15 is Matthew Kennedy, who ironically is one of just 2 players to play all games for the Knights this year. Abraham. Kennedy. Very strong Ben Kennedy. Runs good angles too. This is Witt. Into the air it goes, the spiral bomb. Pressure on Stewart, who is surrounded by Knights, and thrown to the ground by Gidley and Banderas. Little fullback did well in getting the ball on the full. Maybe we'd do it all over again and offload immediately after with a reception committee like that. Nick Bradley. Final seconds of the opening 40 minutes. Torrens. They haven't given up yet, the Eagles. Still looking for points as the siren goes. Newcastle have won the last 6 games, but Manly lead. At half-time here at Brookvale, it is the Seagulls 18, the Knights 4. Welcome back to Brookvale Oval as Ben Kennedy celebrates his 150th first-grade game, but it's not going the way he would like. After 40 minutes, it is the Manly Warringah Seagulls 18, the Newcastle Knights 4, as they fight for premiership survival in the 2004 Telstra NRL Premiership. 3 tries to 1 in favour of the Seagulls, who, as we've alluded to earlier, coming off the club's biggest ever loss in a proud 55-year history. Personal pride has been the motivator. Not only are they dominating, they have played good football. 18 out of 20 as far as their completion rate goes. The Knights a little disappointing at 16 from 23. That's where it is, Greg, the errors. Yeah, the errors are hurting the Knights, there's no doubt about that. 7 to them and only 2 to the Manly side. As we see, a good kick by the Manly side. Anthony Quinn fields the ball and just gets into the field of play. O'Davis finds Carmont. The Eagles' enthusiasm. They are jammed right up defensively and charging up to try and stop the Newcastle progress. Banderas out of acting half. He has been a little quiet so far this afternoon, Danny Banderas. That breeze that Newcastle ran with in the opening 40 minutes certainly doesn't have the same weight in this second half. So it's not mission impossible for the Knights. If they're good enough, they will win. A kick downfield in between Nick Bradley and also the try scorer, Brett Stewart. Well, if the Knights were looking for the lift, they got it 2 minutes prior to half-time with the George Carmont try. But there still is plenty of work to do. Pretty simple game plan for Manly with the breeze behind their backs. I know it isn't as strong as it was in the first half, but it is still a breeze that they can utilise good with a good kicking game. And that'd be the instructions from Des Hasler. Kick, kick, kick. Their defence was terrific in the first half. If they defend like that, there's no reason why Manly shouldn't win this football game, as long as they cut down their
mistake rate and play out their 5 tackles, their 6 tackles.
Good tackle from Hall on Stewart. Last tackle it is. Monahan gets the kick away for O'Davis, who fumbles. It goes back.
Second one was a knock-on.
But the second one, as you heard Stephen Clark, our referee, suggest Anthony Quinn's was a knock-on.
Robbie O'Davis there, well, it was a floating kick and they're hard to take in these sort of conditions. He did well, Robbie O'Davis there. He knew he wasn't going to control the ball and pushed it backwards, threw it back to Anthony Quinn, who couldn't pick up the ball.
Get it in there, Ben. Thanks, mate.
They lead by 14, the Eagles. What a way to start the second half this would be. Dunley to the 19, Glenn Stewart. Gets the ball away. What a day for the Stewart family. Glenn Stewart set it up. Brett Stewart scored it. And it is 22-4 to the Eagles.
Well, exactly the start that the Manly side were looking for in the second half. Got some good field position through a mistake by Anthony Quinn after a dropped bomb. Goes to Glenn Stewart. He breaks through the tackle of Craig Hall. And there was no Newcastle defence. Drew Hall took Ben Kennedy away. Robbie O'Davis, who was standing on the wing, came in as the 3rd defender. And no reason for it. Brett Stewart.
Andrew Walker just asked the cheer girls to move a couple of steps to his right so he can have a fair shot of this one. He is about a metre in from touch, 24 metres back. He has struck it perfectly, and what makes that even more impressive, on that final step into the ball started coming off the tee. I think Des Hasler saw that as well. The breeze knocking the ball off the tee. Walker had to adjust, and adjust he did. A 20-point game. Eckenberg charging back into the Knights line. And there's some commitment there now. Charging up, they are looking to put that one big shot on. They are looking to force the mistake.
Well, Newcastle could feel their season slipping away from them out there at the moment. They are aiming up in this set of 6, but as we see a good run there.
But Shane Dunley again has certainly added a little bit of variety and to this Eagles offense, with Chad Randall sitting on the sideline. So too that man Matt Parsons, who we understand is in some doubt about coming back with a cork thigh. O'Davis gets around 1.
Tackle 1.
Perhaps a little high was Dunley. O'Davis gets up and plays on. Quinn.
Look, and the more they force the Knights down into their 20-metre area and make them bring the ball out, the more desperate Newcastle become, and the more chances of coming up with some spilt ball, as we've already seen from the Newcastle side.
Clint Newton. Can't get past the tackle of Luke Williamson again. They operate the short side. Paderas. They trying to test the interpretation of the marker play from Stephen Clark. Thought Luke Williamson may have been not square. Up it goes from Steve Witt. Menzies, almost uncontested, takes the ball.
Well, it looked like a training run there, didn't it? Steve Menzies just standing there waiting for the ball. No Newcastle player made a play at it, waited till he caught it and then tackled him.
Nick Bradley. Manly today fielding their strongest possible squad when the side was named originally, apart from John Hopewadi. Of course, the late admissions, Chris Hicks and Sam Harris, dent that statistic. They've pretty much got everyone on deck. Monahan again goes to the sky. Not with the depth he would have liked. He puts everyone on side. Carmont gets the bounce and an opportunity for the Knights. Carmont keeps going.
Movement.
Nick Bradley there ending that play. Quinn across field. Runs into Stewart and Williamson. Dunley is there as well. Poor ball control from Craig Hall. Manly ball.
Well,
They are their own worst enemy, Brandy.
if he hadn't have dropped it, it should have been called forward.
Stevenson looking for one inside, looking for one outside. Couldn't get the ball away to either. Walker with the left knee strapped. Monahan, long ball is on. Finds Stewart. He loses control of the footy. It ends up in the hand of Origin centre Matty Gidley. And again, 90 metres to the try line in front of the Knights. It is 4 tries to 1, 24 points to 4.
Yeah, with the 20-point lead, if you're going to make a mistake, that's the end of the field you want to make it at.
Witt to Newton. Very much one-out stuff by the Knights. Gidley. Kirk Gidley, and they're trying to push him over the sideline and do so with ease. Brother Matthew was there to lend a hand, and even the family combination couldn't stop Scott Donald and Stephen Menzies.
Yeah,
good show of strength.
Yeah, good drive by Beaver. He made the call. You could hear him call to Scott Donald, take him out.
Look at that error count. Shows how disciplined and controlled the Eagles have been. It also shows how disappointing the Knights have been. 18 from 28 completed sets. And after dominating all the statistics as far as time in control of the football and where the football was being played, it has been a massive swing in favour of the Eagles. 14 is Lulawai. This is Heckenberg. Traded spots from the bench into the starting side. Monahan. Walker. Cut out ball to Stewart. Matt Gidley went a little high, came out of the tackle, and perhaps luckily for him, Dunley to Monahan. Flat ball. And it is called 5 by Stephen Clark. Goes to the captain, keeps the ball in hand, and why not when that is the result? Michael Monahan is your try scorer, and the Eagles have hit back after a nightmare week.
Yeah, Kirk Gidley being forced over the touchline by Steve Menzies. 4 tackles earlier. Gave the Manly side good field position. Feigned to put a kick in there. He realised there was no hole and no gap to put the kick through. Had to take the line on. A poor missed tackle. Another poor missed tackle by the Knights. There was plenty of Knights defenders there. And Monahan strolls through under the posts.
His 3rd try in Manly colours since coming up from the national capital. Andrew Walker with an easy attempt right in front of him. They are a passionate mob, this Sea Eagles crowd. They are elated, and they are in the stands, are standing and clapping, applauding and giving the thumbs up to the coaching staff and Des Hasler as Andrew Walker extends their lead by another 2. It is the Eagles 30, the Knights 4. Going the short kick off, and it works. It ends up in the hands of George Carmont. They will need to score just on a point a minute if they have any designs on victory. We'll know. Today celebrating a milestone of his own, 50 first-grade appearances. Baderis to the 15, which is Kennedy. Back to Witt. Numbers. Newton. And well read by King. He is held. Baderis. Kirk Gidley. Just hasn't had that impact today. Kirk Gidley, a knock on Newcastle. Tackle number 3 again. Not seeing out a set. They slump to 18 from 29.
Yeah, as we said, they become desperate, the Newcastle side, because of the situation of the scoreline. They will push passes, they will come up with mistakes, but it's that area of the field, as we said, a blood bin here.
Here you go, boys. Let's
for
go.
Matt Kennedy.
Let's get another one. You can pack him, he'll be up the back. Let's pack. Come on, boys.
Nothing more than a trickle, a Kleenex. Kleenex, should I say, would fix that one up as Kennedy heads back to lock the scrum.
But it's this area of the field that hurt the Knights in the first half. They were able to get down into the 20-metre area of the Manly Sea Eagles, but they didn't come up with any results. Their short kicking game was poor. On that hand, Kurt Gidley trying to push it past, they come up with another mistake.
Getting ready for Newcastle, Regan Tanner in 17. Inside the 40, looking for the 20. Robbio has those veteran legs pumping. And a perfectly weighted kick. O'Davis is going nowhere. Scott Donald and Stephen Menzies absolutely screaming down on the veteran fullback. Confidence is an amazing thing in this game, and the Eagles are playing with a ton of it.
Robbio would have been willing that ball over the dead ball line. A perfectly weighted kick there from Manly, and that's the game they've got to play. 30-4 now. You'd think that, well, the Knights are out there. The Knights are gone. The Knights are gone. Manly just have to keep driving away and sticking to what Des Hasler told them to at half-time.
And a good kick into the breeze. It gives Jason King the opportunity to wind up the big legs and motor into the Knights' defensive line. And it is the 2 and 3, Hall and Gidley, who bring him to a halt. Manly, in 4 of their last 8 games, have conceded 50 points plus. That would undeniably be the most pleasing aspect of this performance. Just conceding the 1 try. Dunley to Walker. Well read by Ben Kennedy. Monahan. Stewart. Ben Kennedy gets the intercept, already looking for support. Bounced around like a pinball between the Stewart boys there.
Well read by Kennedy. It was a little set play by the Manly side. He knew Brett Stewart was coming down the middle of the field.
Well, Jason King collides heavily in. And it is a lost ball from the Knights.
Bruce Carey lost the ball. No control.
Matthew Kennedy getting up. And that was a big shot from King. That was the...
I thought he was a little unlucky there. Matt Kennedy actually had the ball. As he tried to pass it, a Manly hand knocked it down. That was the hand that knocked it forward. Kennedy regained the ball.
Out!
To Walker. Brett Stewart. Stevenson dummy. Able to get through the line. Running across field is Nick Bradley. 23 metres out from the line. They change the point of attack to Daniel Heckenberg. Again, Heckenberg's numbers have been good despite limited time. Monahan looking for a double. Pops it back almost rugby union style. Jason King. King, too strong. A well-deserved 4-pointer from the big man. And the Eagles are loving it. 34-4.
Well, his season was plagued with injury. Jason King, a foot injury, kept him out at the start of the season. Monahan again probing the line, able to push the ball back. Good quick hands by Stewart, then Dunley. King with 3 Newcastle players all over him. Great hands there by Dunley. King takes the ball up over his head, charges forward, gets rid of Kennedy. Ennis and O'Davis trying to hold him back, and he plants the ball over the line. And a disappointing game for the Newcastle Knights when their season really did come down to this game. They were absolute vital. 2 points for the Knights.
Andrew Walker's had quite a bit of practice today and has been faultless with the boot. 6 from 6 for the man they call Uncle, 36-4. And who would have thought Dusted by 60 last week. Embarrassed, smashed, call it what you like. And they are 32 points up on the Newcastle Knights. Another restart for the visitors. Williamson
Here it is, hold it.
goes up to the ball and brings it back down to Brookvale turf. Torrens.
Tackle 2. Movement. Go.
It's the try scorer King. He's been good, hasn't he?
Look, he has been strong, and apart from Manly being stung by that loss to Penrith last week, there was also the concern of the wooden spoon. I know it's a dirty word around the northern beaches. They've never received the wooden spoon, the Manly club, in their since their time in the game. 1947 they came into the competition, and this win certainly lifts them out of that area, that danger area of the wooden spoon.
Yep, it elevates them.
Well, puts them to 18 points, and South Sydney still on 15 points.
The Warriors remain on 16. Of course, the Eagles are to play the Rabbitohs at North Sydney Oval next week. And so it just gives them a little bit of breathing room. A rewarding result for Des Hasler. Blocker Roach, Noel Cleal and company down here. After a week that saw them scratching their heads more hours than they used to. And a long kick this time from the Knights. Nick Bradley. Again has been good to them.
And really, all it does come down to is commitment in defence. We saw against the Panthers last week, the Eagles missed 50-plus tackles. And some players getting very close to double figures missed tackles. But the commitment in the defence has been there right from the kickoff.
In fact, one player did unfortunately creep into double figures with missed tackles. We won't identify him today. It's a positive day for the Eagles. They've done well. Pomono to Dunley. Monahan to King. Tackle 4. Stevenson back to Williamson. Monahan, good hands. Dunley, Monahan. Where will it stop? An experience of Ben Kennedy, who, of course, is one of a couple of big-name recruits to this club for next year. Experiencing the passion of this Brookvale Oval crowd. Gidley.
They've had some big wins here through the season at Brookvale. In recent times, they beat Canberra here with a solid effort. They've beaten Penrith at Brookvale Oval.
Well, they've won their last 2 games here at home, just haven't been able to put it together away from home base. Ennis brushed away from Menzies a couple of times. And the Beaver goes back to him on the 3rd attempt with the assistance of Luke Williamson. Good ball and good tackle again.
That's 0.
It is lost by the Knights on tackle number 4. And in the best part of 22-23 minutes, Newcastle has completed, I think, just 1 full set with the ball. You are never going to be in a contest with a mistake rate like that.
Now, Michael Monahan, the player that came up with the tackle on Matthew Gidley there, forced him to pass the ball behind Craig Hall. He's had a big game, Monahan. His season also interrupted with injury. We look at the errors. Crept up to 13 now for the Knights. Only 4 to the Seagulls. Their completion rate, the Eagles, 28 sets they've completed out of their 33. So
28 from 33 will win you most games. What has been equally as impressive today is their defence. Going into this contest, Manly statistically anyway averaged more points conceded, more tries conceded and more line breaks conceded than any other club so far this year.
Up and out of there. Too long. Out of there. Back here. Hey.
Kurt Gidley and Jason King
You got the penalty.
just
Kurt,
exchanging
cool.
pleasantries.
Yep.
And this is the reason why King just a little vigorous, over-vigorous.
There it is.
In the tackle.
Oh, go.
Josh Perry, of course, a late omission from the Newcastle Knights. That omission was noted by a few of the Sea Eagles forwards.
Yes, Stu.
Innocent Walker, and they are into it. Frustration's boiling over. And watch out, big Solomon Hamono's out there, Newcastle. It would turn a sad day into a nightmare.
Right away, boys.
Stephen Clark
You go
right
again
in
at your
between.
own peril, both of you. There you go. I don't want anyone else. I don't want anyone else. I don't want anyone else. Take it away. Take it away. Yeah, mate. What is it? There. Just put them at each other. Yeah. Okay, mate. Thanks, mate. There you go. Andrew. Where's our friend out here? Can't Danny boys will listen to this too. Mate, the penalties on, that's 2 in a row we've had against you blokes we got in the play the ball stuff. Let's not lose the plot now, all right? Calm it right down. And as for you blokes, if you want to start egging each other on and you want to have a blue, as I said, it'll be at your own peril. You should be in the bin. You might want to smile about it now, but you won't be smiling about it when you're sitting in the bin. Now let's calm it down, both of you. You get your teams in order.
Wait and see if there's a get square there. This is why. Andrew Walker with the big left.
Yeah, the talk was great there, Andrew Walker, as they failed to find touch, the Knights.
What a mistake. And Nick Bradley crabbing across field finds Watmo. And just before that sting, I was saying that Josh Perry's omission was noted by the Manly Warringah forwards. When the two sides clashed earlier this year, it was 56-12 at Newcastle in favour of Newcastle. Perry had a war of words with several of the Eagles, including Kylie Lulawai, who invited him out to the car park at the end of the game. Josh declined the invitation, and there was plenty of these blokes that wanted a little bit of big Josh Perry. Not to be.
Here it is. Hold. Go.
38-metre gain. Last tackle, Monahan. He gets bumped down by Ennis. It is play on. Michael Ennis won't have the pace. And again, the Eagles are there en masse. 16 minutes remain. 32 points the difference. Gidley flicks it out the back and into touch. And again, early in the count, as the rain starts again here at Brookvale. And it is certainly raining on the Knights.
Yeah, Kurt Gidley just trying to get something going for the Knights there. Looking for Craig Hall. Whether he was too flat, the ball's gone behind him.
Back, Jason.
Into touch.
In we go, boys. Yeah. Here. Come on, Jason. Back it off. We haven't got it. Put the hooker in. In we go. You're right. Steady it up. Steady it up. Come on, Jace. It's got to go in front of your leg, mate. Yeah. You just hold it steady. Just hold it steady. Give us a tunnel. Give us a tunnel. Yep.
The kids aren't friendly in the middle of Brookvale Oval at the moment. It has been an afternoon of frustration. The ball gets spilt out the back, ends up in the hands of Monahan. Clint Newton and Regan Tanner affecting the tackle. This is King, a mark man today, has certainly been up to it, has excelled.
Wait, go.
This is Hamono.
Here it is.
Dunley across field. The breeze has picked up. You can see the rain here. The people scurrying for under the grandstands again. Over the top is Newton on Hamono. Underneath was Andrew Price, who came out worse for wear. Looking for Stewart. No desperation whatsoever.
Hand over, boys.
Shown by the Newcastle Knights. Stewart thought he'd claimed a try. Would have been a family double.
Yeah, we see the kick back over the inside. Ben Kennedy looking for his winger. No one wanted to pick the ball up for the Knights. Fortunately, Manly came. Fortunately for the Knights, Manly came up with a knock on. but absolutely no desperation shown by the Newcastle Knights.
Here it is, Eagles!
Des Hasler has kept Chad Randall on the bench with this game and result beyond doubt. We understand Randall had suffered a neck injury, a mild one, but a neck injury nonetheless in the first half. He's enjoying his experience today. He will go back on if needed through injury, but otherwise Chad will be watching from the dugout for the remainder of this contest. Just 13 minutes remain. Donald, who scored that superb try in the first 40 minutes. Greg, probably the try that broke Newcastle.
Well, it was such an important time, wasn't it? Newcastle should have come up with a try. They had a three-man overlap. Newcastle just couldn't get the ball to their support players. Donald raced 95 metres.
Monahan, and a good kick using the breeze. Davis fields it, and still with a 32-point advantage, some 67 minutes into the contest, Manly are still charging up, chasing the football downtown. It has been a disciplined performance, and discipline has been a major concern for Des Hasler and his troops.
Movement! Hold, go.
Newton. Just short of halfway. Nice footwork by Witt. Gets the ball back to Tanner. Can't get past Albert Torrens. A one-on-one tackle, a good one. Gidley. Across for Nick Bradley. And Nick Bradley quite happy just to bat it over the sideline after initially knocking on.
Newcastle feed loose.
Safety first football, and why not, I guess. Nick Bradley knew the knock-on was there. He was outnumbered with Anthony Quinn and George Carmon both there. And it will be a long trip back up the freeway on the Newcastle team bus this evening. Danny Baderis can see something to smile about.
He's not in. Yeah, you're right.
And sadly, it is one of those days. Rarely have we seen Newcastle offer so little. Gidley off to Abraham. Tentative and understandably after returning from a broken leg. Matthew Gidley to Regan Tanner. Danny Baderis. Matt Gidley. Cannot get through the sandwich that was created by Watmo. Robbie O'Davis. The ball found the line and Robbie O scores. And in the process moves past a milestone of his own. Just over 400 career points in a decorated career for Robbie O'Davis. And is all just a little too late.
Yeah, a little bit too late now by the Knights. They found their way over the line. Robbie O, quick play the ball there. Bounces in the field of play and over the try line. All academic now, but
that jaw has been tested out more than once for Robbie O'Davis.
Now look, we can go back to the first minute of the game. 40-20 by the Knights. From the ensuing scrum, Craig Hall had a try turned down, and from that moment on it has been all Manly. Manly's defence has been the key to their win here today. Michael Monahan, their halfbacks, had a superb game. He's directed traffic. His kicking game has been well above what anything Newcastle offered. As Kirk Gidley adds the extras, 36-10. His kicking game has been way and above anything that the Newcastle side have offered with the win or against the win.
Newcastle's kicking game in the opening 40 minutes, especially their short kicking game down in attacking territory, absolutely cruelled them. They continued to go for the grubber, and for one reason or another, it just wasn't working. They certainly had the numbers there. It was well read defensively by Manly, who came up with the ball on every occasion. And as a result, it is a 26-point advantage to the Sea Eagles. Just 8.5 minutes remaining. Abraham takes it on the full, allows the opportunity for the Manly defence to get up and get up quickly. Two is Craig Hall. Both teams are 2 wins, 3 losses from their last 5 games. Certainly not the way Newcastle wanted to finish the year. They're a club that has been absolutely ravaged by injury, perhaps hardest hit in this campaign. Andrew Johns, of course, the knee for the season. David Siege, knee in the same game. That was early in the year against Parramatta. Todd Lowry, groin. Tamana Tahu, ankle. Steve Simpson, jaw. There's a bunch of talent watching from the sideline, and there is nothing they can do. Tanner drops the ball. A big shot centre field. Stewart picks it up.
Tackle 0.
Yeah, that hit by Watmo and Stewart just typifies the Manly defence all day.
Hamono. Still going the Tongan torpedo. Up over halfway. On the 40-metre line, Dunley finds his captain, trying to create something with the Newcastle men there. Back to Lulawai, not expecting the football, does plenty with it, makes 13 or 14 metres of his own. Short side on the last tackle. Oh, that is just beautiful hands, and it sums up Manly's performance today, near faultless. This is a side embarrassed just 8 days ago, and they've done a number on the Knights.
Scott Donald comes up with his second try of the day and his 15th for the year. Great exchange of passing here. Torrance, good quick hands, drew Craig Hall in. And a free passage for Scott Donald. Watmo with the ball on the 5th tackle, looking for the short kick, decided on the quick hands. Terrific little passage down the short side there by the Manly side.
2 for the day and 15 for the year for Scott Donald. Re-signed eventually by the Manly club. They have been exceptional today. Newcastle have had some injury concerns. It has poured rain for much of the afternoon. The rainbow, as a matter of fact, and to coin a cliche, is finishing almost in centre field here as Andrew Walker prepares to have his 7th shot at goal today. And again the flags go up. One of those players that relies on confidence to produce a good performance, and whilst he probably hasn't been at his individual best today, Andrew Walker, he has certainly supplied a lot of good football for his outside men, and his kicking game has been first class. 7 tries to 2. The Knights came into this contest as favourite. That said, they had just 1 win in 10 weeks, and that was against Manly. Then back-to-back wins over South and Canberra, so they certainly deserve to go into this match with that favourite tag. Lulawai. Shane Dunley again given good service from the dummy half area. Stewart. Both boys have been good today, Glenn and Brett. Downtown we go. Robbie O'Davis and Craig Hall. It'll be the winger. Forced to have a go at it. He was patient. He was confident it was going to go dead in goal. And whilst the last try summed up Manly's day, that almost sums up Newcastle's.
Yeah, like Robbie O a couple of minutes ago, Craig Hall there, just praying that the ball bounced dead. Had to make a play at the ball. The Manly chase there on top of him. And again, a first-class effort from the Manly side. Another pinpoint kick by Michael Monaghan.
They've been creative today, Manly, sensibly creative too, not just tossing the ball round at will. Danny Baderis looking for that second shot on Stewart. This is Hamono. Dunley. Luluai. A show of strength. Just too good. The Eagles are just too good today. A devastating loss for the Newcastle Knights, unaware of what they were walking into or which Manly team would turn up.
Well, Jason King scored a try using brute strength, carrying a few of the Newcastle players over the try line. That one, Kylie Luluai, it's a soft try. Plenty of Newcastle defenders there. He just spun out of the tackles. Not much commitment from the Newcastle defence. A very disappointing effort.
Illustrated perfectly by the reaction from Danny Baderis. May have seen through the mouth guard to the ground in absolute disgust. And what is left of the crowd here at Manly, they are loving it. 7 from 7 today for Andrew Walker. Would love to keep that perfect record with the boot. And over it goes. 48 points to 10.
Well, what a turnaround in form. Beaten by 60 last week, then put 48 on a side that needed to win this football game.
And still not a smile from Desi.
He's still got last week in the back of his mind. But this will do a lot to erase what happened last week. Andrew Walker, you said that Manly haven't relied too much on Andrew Walker to create things in attack, but what a great kicking display. 8 from 8 in these conditions too, and a lot of those kicks have been difficult ones.
One of the biggest ever turnarounds in one round of footy. 60 points against last week, 38 points for this week. Nearing on the 100. So it is a monstrous turnaround. And congratulations go to Manly.
Try and follow that form line.
Flicking it out the back, even the bounce of the ball is going their way as Dunley finds Hamono. And with 50 seconds remaining, the Eagles haven't given hope of reaching the half-century. Monaghan to Walker. Short ball to Stevenson, driven back. Dane Monaghan, over the top we go. Manly are there with numbers. And the ball is taken and taken well under pressure by Craig Hall. Free is Gidley. Clock counts down. Robbie O'Davis will have the last possession of the match. They have been out-muscled, out-classed and outplayed the Newcastle Knights. It is the day of the Sea Eagle. Manly victorious to the tune of 48 points to 10 here at Brookvale, capping off an incredible 8 days.
So, what a difference a week makes. The Seagulls show some ticker, and this time they hand out the punishment. That's not good news for the Knights, who have put themselves under pressure to make the finals. Coming up, it's crunch time for both the Raiders and Storm, who clash at Canberra Stadium. Then the second of our blockbuster games sees the Roosters up against the Panthers.
Now the West Tigers, they have to keep trying, promoting the football. But I think all the work they've done in that first 40 minutes is starting to take its toll.
Here's Butner. He'll play it at the halfway line. We look a tired bunch out there behind the play the ball at the moment, the Tigers. Galea puts a kick in behind them. Some pressure here on Stewart, who put his body on the line once again, threw himself on the ball and came up with it.
Yeah, plenty of courage shown there by the young 19-year-old fullback. Little kick in behind the line. It was Tigers players coming down, and all of a sudden he had to put his body in the firing line. He's done it earlier in the second half, and John Scandalis collected him with a beauty.
Here's Watmo, gave it away to Bradley Galileo, who flicked it on acrobatically to Michael Monaghan. He's weaving. It came back to Donald. They won't catch Scott Donald. Manly win here at Brookvale this afternoon. What a try. They got the ball back at their own end of the field, and then some sleight of hand. Michael Monaghan, the no-look pass over the shoulder was a cracker, and they make it 24 points to 6.
Yeah, quite excited. You look at the defensive line there. The wingers in about 50% of the field. They had a lot of space. And then Monaghan, you mentioned it, sleight of hand. He had Donald on the inside, Torrens on the outside, just held it up beautifully, and then drifted it back into the quickest man on the park, and Donald, he was always going to score. Just watch him time his pass here. Looking as though he's going to go wide, and then the lovely turn back on the inside. And Donald, too quick, scores next to the sticks. Tim Sheens, he'd be disappointed with the way his team have performed here this afternoon. They had a top 8 position up for grabs, or to stay in contention, I should say, for a top 8 position. They stay on 16 points as Walker converts. And they will have to win 5 of their last 7 games. They've still got a bye in hand if you were to think there were any chance of still making the top 8.
It's a tougher equation for the Sea Eagles as well. They also have the bye, which will come next week. But following that, they would need to win their last remaining 7 games in succession to be a factor, you would think. 1 loss would automatically rule them out of the top 8 position, given that we think 28 points will make the finals this year. They turn it over here off the restart with Watt now coughing it up, and it comes down to Dean Collis. The Tigers will go back on the attack.
And what odds will you give him Manly making the 8, Wayne? You're still optimistic, eh?
No. At your most optimistic, you would have to think they had to win each of their remaining 7 games. I didn't say there are any odds about it. There's no betting at the moment, trust me. Mears from dummy half. Despite this win here this afternoon against, once again, a lackluster West outfit. Hodgson with the no-look pass himself, trying to pull off on Michael Monaghan. Came back on the inside. And they will play it there through Michael Butner. Mears waiting at dummy half. It comes to Sattler. Now Hodgson. The player stretched to his right-hand side, but there are defenders there. All numbered up nicely on this left edge for Manly. They make the tackle on Bronson Harrison. O'Neill on the last play. Galea puts the kick in, but once again came to the wrong player in the wrong situation. And Ben Galea, realising he had to put a kick in, put a pretty ordinary one in. It comes away from the Sea Eagles. Harris put it down. There was a chance there for Robert Mears to quickly move it to his left-hand side, but he also knocked it on.
Yeah, if he didn't knock it on, there could have been a 4-pointer there for the Tigers. Harris, one-on-one strip there by LaFranchi. Mears, he knew where the footy had to go. Unfortunately, knocking the ball forward, as has been the case all afternoon. Manly now starting to get a little bit sloppy the last couple of sets they've had.
Steve, go on properly, mate. Out!
Sattler from the scrum win for the Tigers. We stopped there by Sam Harris. Butner from dummy half. Ambles towards the post. He gives it off to Hodgson. It's a thin right-hand side for the Tigers. Hodgson, though, tries to put their head down and beat Watmo in a race to the line, but the second rower was able to stop him. O'Neill gives it to Sattler. Here comes to Bronson Harrison. Chris Hicks raced up, and having done so, had to make the tackle and was able to do it.
He's been strong this afternoon, Chris Hicks, both with the football and defensively.
Centre looking for the line, will find it. He fought and struggled, was able to beat the tackle as it turned out of Ian Donnelly. And the Tigers get a try here. 16 points in arrears, 10 minutes left. Anything's possible, I suppose.
Well, it determines captain's try, wasn't it, by Darren Centre. Going through some flimsy defence there by Ian Donnelly next to the sticks. Just picking it up from dummy half, looking as though he's going to pass, and then go straight to the hole. Determined running by the skipper. Hodgson doesn't waste any time. He converts. They edge a little bit closer, but 14 points, 9.5 minutes to go. It's impossible. But the way that the Tigers have performed this afternoon, Warren, no chance.
And there's Darren Centre. He gets his second try of the year. And Steve Clark with the Sea Eagles coming back to the halfway line fairly slowly. We'll just blow time off here. Impossible, you say?
Yes. Well, you look at the amount of possession that the West Tigers have had. 39%. And that has only increased in the last 5 minutes because they've had repeat sets. But before that, it's been hovering around 32 to 35% in this whole game.
Yeah, they've had absolutely no football for vast periods of this game as Harrison will play it here just outside the Tigers' 20. Centre from dummy half. Comes to Michael Butner. Goes off to Galea. He stopped just outside the Tigers' 30. Centre again to Sattler and then Mark O'Neill.
Here, boys.
Hodgson going down the short side, runs away from the Watmo tackle. He gives it to Galea, who goes straight through the line. Only Stewart to beat, and the fullback saves a try. Last play here for the Tigers. If they can score, it'll give them a sniff. Here's LaFranchi charging at them on the last play and dies with the football. Can you believe what you just saw?
Well, I can, because that's probably the way that they've played all afternoon. They've just taken wrong options. They haven't held on to the football. If LaFranchi had had a little bit of vision on that occasion and had transferred the ball to his right, they had about a 4-on-2. Would have been a try in the offering, but instead he elected to just take the ball to the line, die with it in his arms. And there's Hodgson drifting across field. Nice work by Ben Galea. Took the fullback on, makes the tackle, or got tackled, and then LaFranchi just charging onto the football.
Last! Back here, boys. Mark straight!
And Monahan from dummy half. He'll give it to Andrew Walker to put the kick in. It was a fairly deep one as well. Moody will bring it back midfield and play a 20 short of the halfway line. The Tigers scored off the Galea bust. In some sort of chance. Here's Richards now. Coming to Heckenberg, who stops him. A little chip and chase in behind the line somewhere, you would think, in this set of 6. And with no Scott Prince out there at the moment for the Tigers. We'll see if perhaps a Michael Butner or a Sattler can put the kick in. So they are working it down that left-hand side. Prince is now out there on that left-hand edge. He made it back on the field pretty quickly, didn't he?
Invisible man.
Here's Hodgson coming down the left-hand edge. He gives it off, and it's Elford who'll play it. Hodgson to Scott Prince. The invisible man puts it high in the air. Stewart standing underneath it. What a bomb. What a take, though, by Stewart. They drag him back into the in-goal area and will force a goal line dropout.
Yeah, that was a better bomb on that occasion by Scotty Prince. The young fullback stood his ground. He took the ball well. He's got plenty of pace, but one thing I do like about the fullback, he's got plenty of courage. He knew that he was going to get clobbered on that occasion, but he stood his ground. He took the football. Sheens looking on from the sideline. Time off with 6 minutes to go. Need to score 3 times, the Tigers, and convert.
Let's go, stay on side.
Andrew Walker with the goal line dropout. Comes to Hodgson, who will Handed back to Dean Hallitown, who runs it back hard. Good tackle, though, by Chris Hicks, who stands up once again. Here's Elford from dummy half. On hands and knees, he takes it down to the 10-metre line. Plays it to centre. Here's Prince. Good hands by the halfback, who shows it a couple of times. He produces the old Benny Elias move, and it comes back to Dean Collis, who stopped 10 metres out still. Glenn Stewart out there for the Seagulls, slowing the play, the ball down. Centre, back on the inside for O'Neill for the line. And he stopped a metre short. He plays it for centre. From dummy half, he gets across the line and then might have lost it, but he says it was stripped out.
Interference by the man playing the ball and then the grounding. Thank you.
Well, Darren Centre, he thinks it's a try. He's checking for the interference at the play the ball. And a strip. Steve Clark didn't have a real good view of it. You see Centre coming through. Again, the young fullback is there. I can't see he's grounded the football. Looks as though it might have just rolled out over his arm. Going through after the play the ball. Yeah, I'd be prepared to say no try.
I think he's just knocked it on in goal here.
Certainly doesn't touch the ground there. It rolls out.
Anthony Watmoe coming over the top. Might have made some contact with the football, but hard to make a case for him stripping it out, as the Tigers were claiming, as Darren Centre bounced back to his feet. And you would say, from what we've seen, a knock on in goal. And the Seagulls should have it from their own 20-metre line. If the Tigers had one last throw at them, you'd have thought that was it right there. It came up short. Had a good chance off the back of the Galea bus. Couldn't find the line. Went close again in that set of 6 and couldn't do it. And the Seagulls, with just 5 minutes remaining here, should be able to shut this down and pick up their first win in 5 games.
It's been a tough period for the West Tigers. I mean, they have come up against some red-hot sides in the last few weeks. And they were coming up against a team on the bottom of the competition table who they're probably expected to beat. The confidence has been shattered. They realise that their season is probably over. They haven't produced their best game on the day and when it's mattered. But they've still got to work hard for the remainder of the year. They can't just put their heads down and say, well, that's our season over. You've always got to take pride in your own performance, and you just never know what's around the corner. Miracles can happen.
I'll tell you what's around the corner. Another lost ball from the Tigers. This time it was their fullback, Brett Hodgson, trying to put on something at the end here. And it cost them possession. And the Seagulls get a pretty good hand from this sparse crowd at Brookvale Oval this afternoon. 18 errors from the Tigers. And their possession rate still hovering just around that 40% for the game. We'll see if the Seagulls can finish it with a try here. Monahan was knocked up pretty quickly by Shane Elford. Glenn Stewart comes back to Hollingsworth, and now Watmoe brings it back to the Tigers' 30-metre line and play it to Hollingsworth. Monahan's at first receiver on the left-hand side, but they'll work it forward down the right with Ian Donnelly. And Monahan wants it. He's got players outside him in motion, including Glenn and Brett Stewart. The former ends up with it here, and he'll play it inside the Tigers' 20. Doing a good job of slowing the play, the ball down. Monahan grubbering, but it wasn't a good one. Collis came up with it. Brett Stewart put a toe on it, and he thought Dean Collis had knocked it on. But the Tigers have it now. Richards works it up towards their 20. He's
had a good short kicking and attacking game this afternoon, Michael Monahan. They've had a couple of results from them as the West Tigers look to go wide. Prince
stepping back on the inside Menzies. He needs some support, though, because they're coming quickly. Stewart is among them. He puts it back on the inside, though, for Elford, who fires it wildly. It went over the touchline. And the Seagulls will come up with it, but a nice move by Scott Prince to step back on the inside away from Menzies.
Well, they done it late in the game. This is something they should have been trying a lot earlier in the second half. Using the width of the field and testing the Manly defenders on the edge. And Scott Prince got a lovely dummy and left foot step straight around Steve Menzies. He found Ilford in support, tried to toss it back infield, but the cover once again from the Manly team was there.
It was forward pass from Shane. It was pass forward, Shane. Manly flipping. Get up. Anthony, get in there. Get it in. Out!
It was a messy old scrum, but it comes back the way of the Seagulls. It won't matter now because they lead by 14. Just on 90 seconds remaining. They do, as we said, have the bye next week in round 19. While the Tigers will take on the informed Melbourne Storm at Leichhardt Oval. Glenn Stewart makes a mistake right at the death here. And the Tigers will have one last set of 6 close to the Manly line to finish this game out. And if their season isn't quite on the line here this afternoon, you would reckon it pretty much would be next week at Leichhardt when they play the Melbourne Storm. A loss there, and if the teams in the 8 keep winning as they did this weekend, you'd see the Tigers falling some 3 games behind the top 8, and that would just about be curtains. Sattler comes to Hodgson, who shows it, puts in behind the defence there of Andrew Walker, who seems to be hobbling at the moment for the Seagulls.
Well, if they can win next weekend, you got to remember that the Raiders and the Sharks have some big games. The Sharks have got the Dogs, the Raiders have got Penrith.
Butner almost would have been pulled up for an obstruction play had he got on his run. O'Neill through the hands of Todd Payton. He flicked it on to Ben Galea. That was worthy of the Harlem Globetrotters. Terrific pass from Todd Payton to give it to Galea, who scores beside the post.
Well, some good skill shown here by the front row. Quick play the ball, O'Neill out onto Payton, and then Benny Galea backing up. So quick play the ball, Donnelly down. There's only one marker, he took off, then some chain little passing. Scores next to the post. Too late though for the West Tigers. Considering the way that they've played, to be beaten by only 8 points is a magnificent effort.
And that's exactly what the final margin will be here at Brookvale this afternoon. Manly, hoping for other results to go their way, could still find themselves in 15th and final position after round 18. At least they've come up with a win to break a 4-game losing streak this afternoon. They've beaten the Tigers 26-18.
Yeah, good on the Eagles. They lift themselves off the bottom of the competition table, and it all but ends the West Tigers' charge towards the semi-finals for 2004. Some hard workers out there this afternoon. Johnny Scandalis again putting in a good performance by the West Tigers. Heckenberg and Jason King, Watmow, Williamson, all those players stood up for the Manly team.
Well, Darren Centre having a chat there with Steve Menzies. The Tigers tried, but came up a long way short this afternoon. They sort of tried the death, which closed the gap, but the damage was done earlier in the second half when Manly scored a couple of good tries. Anthony Watmow getting across the line. That one sealed it, as did Scott Donald's try. Once he got in the clear, they were never going to catch him. And Tim Sheens, with the exasperated look on the sideline, spent much of the 80 minutes here at Brookvale this afternoon doing exactly what you just saw. At full time, the try scorers for Manly were Torrens, who picked up a double. Monahan, Watmow and Donald also scored. Walker kicked 3 from 5. Hodgson, Centre and Galea scored tries for the Tigers. Hodgson kicked 3 out of 3. And that just about wraps it up here at Brookvale, but there is more NRL action to come your way this evening and also tomorrow night as well. Don't forget about the Rabbitohs taking on the Panthers at Aussie Stadium. That game from 6 p.m. tonight on Fox Sports 2. And we'll follow that with a big clash. The 2 teams inside the top 4, the Bulldogs at home to the Storm. That one from 7:30 p.m. once again on Fox Sports 2. And don't forget about NRL Scoreboard coming your way live tomorrow night from 8 p.m. where we'll wrap up all the action from round 18 of the Telstra Premiership. That's live again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. on Fox Sports 1, NRL Scoreboard, the best review show on television. The Sea Eagles go to their fans on the far side of the oval here at Brookvale. Stephen Menzies gets some slaps on the back, and why wouldn't he? Because they've beaten the Tigers 26-18. Thank you for joining us. And on behalf of Russell Fairfax, Laurie Daly and all the crew, I'm Warren Smith. Until we see you next time, it's goodbye from Brookvale.
This has been a Fox Sports production for the National Rugby League Partnership. This match brought to you by Tooheys New. Tooheys New, what mates do. The Extreme Nissan X-Trail. Lowe's Menswear. Harvey Norman, there's a store near you. And the new Bundaberg Rum Dry and